Talking about size, Anthony Richardson from Florida, 6'4", 240-plus pounds. No milkshakes needed for him to get well north of 200. And some of the performances for him, noteworthy. The 10-foot, 9-inch broad jump, 40.5-inch vertical, the most ever for a quarterback in the history of the scouting combine. 10 feet, 9 inches broad, 40.5 straight up in the air, a 4.43 40. Impressive performance by a guy who I just think that this is like the eye-opener. This was the wow. This was the, we know where the quarterback position has gone in the NFL. You want a guy who can run the play that's been called, and if the play that's called goes to hell, he can just make something happen. And with that size and that speed and that athleticism, Anthony Richardson is the guy who, if the play that's called doesn't work, Chris, I have a feeling he's going to make something happen.
Yeah. I think that's very true to say. I mean, first off, let's give it some love here. What we saw there on Saturday, him working out, that was insane. I mean, for a quarterback, you put the numbers up against Cam Newton, he makes Cam Newton look like it was some average athlete. Like, oh, that was just Cam. No big deal about that guy. What? That's insane. Cam Newton's one of the greatest physical specimen athletes we've ever seen in the history of football at the quarterback position or in general. What Anthony Richardson did on Saturday, forget quarterback. This is like top-tier pass rusher number. These are Micah Parsons numbers, and he's playing quarterback. It's the same size. It's explosive. The ability to jump, the ability to get out of the box, and, the 10-yard split, everything was off the charts good. And you're right. Hey, there's a rawness about his game, right? Yeah, he can make it all happen, learning to play in the pocket, being a little more accurate throwing the football. Those are things he's going to have to work on. But when you just talk about, hey, let's run some sort of, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts type of offense, pull guards, quarterback design runs, yeah, he's going to be made for that, and he's going to flourish. And then, like we were talking about with Justin Fields, it buys him the time to continue to get polished as a passer and get better. It's just, how raw is he? He's pretty raw. He's games, Mike, where I would tell people and go, man, this Richardson kid, I was telling people earlier this year in college football, wow, right? And then a few people would watch a game, I can't remember what it was earlier, and he didn't play well, and the ball was all over the place, and they go, oh, man, you like that guy? So there's going to be some games that are wow and some games that are but, it's the potential of the player that I think excites you and me and everybody else that's watching football.
Oh, it clearly excites me. Of all these guys, he's the one that I'm most fascinated by because he's got the upside, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for upside. And in a league where you've got maybe 5 teams that feel great about where they are at quarterback. Let's go ahead and list since there's so few. Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Chargers. Am I missing anyone?
Jaguars, Eagles.
I'll take Eagles over Jaguars. I'm saying so great. There's no question. We're not looking to upgrade. Okay, I'll go those 5, and maybe the Jaguars just on the outside looking in. I don't want to disrespect Trevor Lawrence. Right. But still, if you could take Mahomes right now over Trevor Lawrence, you'd take him. Then again, you take Mahomes over anybody right now, except maybe Josh Allen. But even then, I'd probably take. Sorry, Josh, we love you. I'd probably take Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
But my point is this. You either have one of those guys or you don't. And when you just look at the raw facts of the guys that are in the conversation at the top, I'm most fascinated by the possibility that Richardson's going to be the guy. Because I think if he's the guy, he's spectacular and he's instantly on that list. If it works, he's on that list. If you can get a coach to harness and mold and shape and grow. And remember, it's not just draft, it's develop. It's on the team who gets him to get the most out of him. He's going to show up wanting to be as good as he can be. He's not going to show up resisting like a 6-year-old kid who doesn't want to go to school. He wants to be great. If the coach can make him great, if they have great players around him, if you've got great ownership, if you got all the things you need to be great, if it works, he's going to be at that upper echelon, or upper echelons, as some would say, the preferred alternative. He's going to be there. That's why I'm so excited about Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, yeah, the way it looks, he has a chance to be something special physically, But it's going to be the other questions that will be the determining factors. I think anybody who's been paying attention to football or college football at least knew like this guy had a chance to have a special workout on Saturday. Now it's going to be, right, can he go through reads in the pocket? Can he stay in the pocket when he has to and, strike against certain coverages and make the appropriate throws? His arm is extremely gifted, Mike. Extremely. Look, I mean, you can see here the way he can just flick the ball 15, 20, 30 yards. It's as effortless and as beautiful as it gets when he does it well. Now, the problem is, if we sat here and watched all the throws, we'd see a few where you'd go, well, damn, okay, nope, not even Megatron could get their hands on that one, right? So the ball sprays a little bit as far as accuracy. And so there's some things that you got to work on in that department. But, yeah, again, we talk about this every year, right? The first round, it's about elite traits, and this guy has a number of elite traits throughout the board. Athletically, the arm, all of that. And now it's just going to be, do you think you can get him to play the position the right way? And how long is that going to take? And I think those are the things that are going to affect his value as we kind of continue to go through this draft process.
And, he's the kind of guy that you could take him, and he is our quarterback, and we're going to build everything around him like the Ravens have done with Lamar Jackson. The entire offense is going to flow from and through the skills and abilities of Anthony Richardson. And here he is from Friday on the fact that he views himself as a blend of Lamar Jackson and the guy that we compared him to earlier, Cam Newton. Here he is.
Growing up, it was always Cam Newton for me. But then when I got to high school, just seeing how dynamic Lamar was, I tried to implement both of those guys in my life. And I started calling myself Cam Jackson in 11th grade, trying to make big plays, so just Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson.
I like it. Cam Jackson. And, it's exciting because of that ceiling. And we're always keeping our eyes out for the next great one. There aren't many. And I just feel like he could be one. And it's not just up to him. It's up to what he has around him. Who's coaching him? Who's playing with him?
Yep.
Who's picking the players
that
need to be developed around him? That gets overlooked. And I'm telling you, Chris, we're inching toward the day where one of these elite quarterbacks realizes, I got plenty of money in the bank from NIL. I'm not going to a place where I believe I'm not going to get the best development that I can to become the ultimate physical quarterback specimen, overall performer that I can be.
Yeah, well, hey, whoever drafts them, they'll go all in on them. Again, will it be all in year one, you get to start and play? No, probably not, but I don't know. Again, when you're that gifted, running quarterback power, doing stuff like that, maybe that's what happens. But, I think there is a learning curve. That's for sure, as far as just, getting used to, playing the game the NFL way. College, he's a unicorn. We know that, and all his life he's been able to get away with, wait, nobody's open or the first guy's not open. I'm just going to run and make something happen. It's kind of the gift and the curse that way. And he's been able to make something happen pretty much his whole life. So I don't fault him for that. But as you know and we know, right, yeah, the defenses are better. The defensive ends are better. They're going to corral you in the pocket a little bit more. You're not going to be able to just dominate all the time like it's the SEC or high school football. So there'll be an adjustment period there. But, man, how do you not get intrigued? We hit it last week at the Combine and then watching that again, after the workout. How can you not be excited about some of the things he can bring to the table for your football team? But, yeah, one of the things I need to figure out as I dive in here, is it going to be realistic for him to actually do that year one, or is it going to be like a year two type of thing? We need to have a bridge-type quarterback. We'll see, but I'm extremely excited about the specimen of Richardson for sure.
Well, I know that there's a person that is very close to me genetically who is excited by the possibility that that Kirk Cousins is the guy that holds the spot for Anthony Richardson after what my son saw from Anthony Richardson this weekend. He was furiously texting me about the hope that he now has that Anthony Richardson ends up playing in purple, but we'll see how that all plays out. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.